Hi, this is Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. What we're speaking about today is the addictions you need to break from your lives, addictions that you need to deal with once and forever and for all, because these addictions are delaying your progress in your life. These addictions, what they do is they actually kill off your productivity. And majority of us, when we speak about addictions, as I say, you might be thinking of addictions of alcohol, substances, and so on. We're not speaking about that. We speak about addictions that you have embraced as part of your life. Those things that you say, but it's me. I cannot change them. And we are dealing with that today because we need to address it, expose it to the surface for you to know that this is an addiction that I need to deal with. Now, as a young man, remember, we are actually converting you from being ordinary young men. We want you to become extraordinary men of wisdom, integrity, and character. And we do this with kingdom principles. And we hope that this will help you today. Now, this is part 5, and if you haven't actually listened to us in the past sessions, please go back and listen to the past sessions of our talks. It's very, very important as well because there are different addictions that we dealt with in the past few sessions. Now, today we want to start with an addiction to negative self-talk. And I want to deal with that addiction to negative self-talk. And this is something that many people are addicted to. There are people that are talking themselves down, talking themselves negatively, people that don't just see anything positive with themselves. And as a young man, we want to urge you to start seeing a lot of positives in you. There are a lot of positives in you in any case, and you need to start zooming into those and see those so that you can actually talk positively towards yourself. This is very important. Now, self-talk, which is negative, is dangerous because what it does, it damages self-confidence and it reinforces limiting beliefs. And many people that don't have confidence, they're limited to what they can do. Because everything that they want to try to do, they tell themselves, who do you think you are? Because you cannot do this. You are a failure in life and you are not successful in life. And sometimes self-talk, sometimes they relate to your background. And many of us are talking negatively about ourselves because of the backgrounds that we're coming from. There are those of us who are talking negatively about ourselves because of our previous encounters, our previous experiences. And therefore, because of that, we think that because I failed yesterday, I'm going to fail today. So this is negative self-talk, and it is an addiction. And when you are addicted to it, you become detrimental to yourself because you are killing your self-confidence. And without confidence, this life is going to be tough for you. Now, as a young man, you need your self-confidence so that you can be able to tackle issues of life. You can be able to tackle problems that we meet in this life. So self-confidence then becomes very important. But negative self-talk is a danger to self-confidence. What it does, it reinforces limiting beliefs. You start to limit yourself. You start to feel like you're not do it. You start to feel like you're not succeed. And that's why we address this type of an addiction. We say break it in your life because then you'll start to see progress inside yourself. Now, the other thing that is very, very negative about self-talk is because it constantly is constant negativity, which can lead to stress and anxiety. Because then you are living in a world of negativity. You don't see anything positive. You don't see anything right. And I want to emphasize that when you start to become negative about everything and you don't see anything correct about anything, you're problematic. You're basically having a problem because you're not going to see anything positive. Then you are so stressed, you're so anxious, and everything that you do, you're anxious about it. And we want to emphasize as church, as Young Men Empowerment Forum, that you need to make sure that you deal with negative self-talk. And this is a habit that needs to be dealt with. Now, the other thing that it creates an overbearing sense of hopelessness. People that are having negative self-talk, they find themselves so hopeless. They see nothing positive. They see nothing bright ahead of them. They see nothing that is going to happen. And I want to urge you that stop negative self-talk because negative self-talk is going to make you hopeless. And many of the hopeless people is because they've talked bad upon themselves. Not that anybody outside have talked bad about them. It's because they themselves have talked bad about them. Now, I want you to remember that even though people can talk bad about you, when you are positive in your life and you talk positively about your life, nothing will affect you from outside because you would have built that self-esteem from within, and that no outside talks will actually make you to be frustrated. Now, I want to urge you as a young man to please make sure that you deal with negative self-talk as an addiction and make sure that it doesn't exist in your vocabulary anymore. We want to also deal with the addiction to scrolling as we close. Addiction to scrolling. Now, addiction to scrolling is actually addiction to comparing as well. They're very related. They're very related. When we talk about scrolling, we talk about forever scrolling the phone and looking at other people's lives, what they're doing, and so on. And this is a social media addiction sometimes whereby you forever scrolling your phone. You're forever scrolling to see what the world is all about. And this is an addiction that needs to be dealt with as well. Because what it does, constant scrolling, it leads to comparison. You end up comparing yourself with other people. And other people that you don't even know sometimes. You compare yourself with other people that you never met in your life. You compare yourself with people that you've never seen with your own eyes. And I mean, this is problematic. Because when you start to compare yourself that way, you are going to depress yourself. You're going to limit yourself as well. And that becomes very dangerous. Don't compare yourself, as we have said. But scrolling, actually, when you are addicted to it, you'll compare yourself with others. Now, it also impacts self-esteem. It affects your focus as well. Because many people that are sitting on scrolling on their phone, you cannot do anything anymore. You find yourself so much consumed in scrolling to an extent that you can't focus on anything anymore. And we want to urge you as a young man that focus is very important in your life. And please deal with the addiction to scrolling. Because when you deal with addiction to scrolling, it may actually start showing you that you can progress in your life. So be careful not to scroll and spend more time on scrolling because it will actually divert your focus. Finally, it is up time that could be used for productive or relaxing activities. And most of the times you realize that people that are forever scrolling, they cannot relax. And because there are some anxious moments that are caused by what you see on social media platforms, what you see in the world happening. And that causes stress and depression. And most of the people are actually focusing on those things. And your mind cannot relax because you are stressed of what is happening in life. Remember that some of the things that we read in the news, some of the things that we hear on social media and see is actually frustrating to an extent that it actually causes a spirit of despondency or the feeling of hopelessness as well about the future. And we sometimes look at the future as dim and not promising at all. Why? Because we're forever scrolling. And it wastes time as well. Because the available time that you would have been doing something very progressive in your life, you're busy scrolling and you're delaying yourself. Otherwise, you could have been doing something very progressive. And I'm sure some of you who are addicted to scrolling, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So therefore, this is a habit or an addiction that you need to deal with if you are to be productive in your life this year. And very important that we emphasize that because we know that you are actually a productive person by nature, but scrolling has actually let you down. And please deal with this addiction once and for all. I want to end up here today, your host, Micornus Phokane. I'm the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. Before we check out, we want to remind you of our socials and our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum. And that goes along with our YouTube channel, Young Men Empowerment Forum as well. So please subscribe to these pages. Make sure that you click notification buttons on them. And I believe strongly that you're going to learn, you're going to find this useful. And also remember our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, and together with our TikTok account as well under Micornus Phokane. So please like those pages as well. Make sure that you follow us and you share most importantly with your friends, you share with your colleagues. Please share with your family those platforms because they may be interested in listening. Thank you very much for joining us in this topic. We hope this topic might have brought a great value in your life, and your life shall never be the same as you attend to these issues in your life. Allow me to check out till we meet again with another topic. May the good Lord bless you, and cheers for now.